Okay, guys, what's going on? Main Event Matt here. And before I start my review of SmackDown, I just gotta say this: my live reaction to Zack Ryder basically standing on top afterwards and hitting Kevin Owens with the Rough Rider. That will be up sometime tonight-ish after this review. After you've seen the review, of course, probably. If not by then, if the video's up, I'll probably try to leave a annotation thing on the screen somewhere, so you can click on that and go check that out. But it's pretty funny. I didn't really pop much, but like if you want to see me standing up, saying woo 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 and fist pumping, then I guess you can go check that out. But that's pretty much all it was. What I don't know if Zack Ryder's music would have hit off when he came out. I mean, I thought I would have jumped a lot more because the music always gets me if they come out with the music. Otherwise, like if they do run-ins and they don't have their music, that doesn't really interest me. But anyways, go check that out if you can right now, if it's up, or if not, just wait. It's gonna be on the second channel. But we're gonna go into the SmackDown review now, and I'm gonna make this short and sweet because it was okay. There wasn't really any good matches tonight, though. It was just, I don't know, they were average. To kick off the show, we had Sasha Banks going one-on-one with Charlotte, and this match was actually pretty decent. Of course, they were in Sasha's hometown of Boston. So, Boston Mass, of course, big ovation for Sasha, like usual, except you couldn't hear it very good because of stupid, shitty editing on SmackDown. But, Charlotte came out and cut a pretty decent, good promo at the starting. She ended up just saying that at the end of the night, the only thing people are going to be chanting is not "We want Sasha," it's just going to be "Woo!" And she did it about 500 times, and it just got annoying real quick. But she did that. Then Sasha came out, and Becky was on commentary the whole time. And the one thing that I liked from Becky is she said that she was gonna put both of them in the disarmor, take both their arms, and then make them applaud her after she won the match. I thought that was pretty funny. But overall, this match is fairly decent. They basically just went through their shit. Sasha hit some ridiculous freaking tilt-a-whirl into a crucifix pin, though, which was pretty sweet. I think it was a crucifix pin. And Sasha ended up doing the double knees thing, and she kind of messed it up with Charlotte, but it's whatever. I was just happy as hell that they got a one-on-one match because I was originally expecting that to be the main event of, I mean, not the main event, part of Mania, so just the one-on-one between those two. So to see that on SmackDown is pretty cool. We've seen a lot of stuff on SmackDown that was kind of bigger deal, like the whole Brock Lesnar segment, which I'll get to that at the end of the review. But like I said, first off we had that. Sasha ended up getting the win off of a roll-up, a cradle pin, after Charlotte was going for the figure 8. When she hooked the leg, of course, Sasha did the classic roll-up thing because Charlotte was yelling at her face, going, "Whoa!" Just like Sasha did earlier in the match when she did the Flair strut and then bitch slapped Charlotte, which is pretty funny. But no, Sasha ends up getting the win with the roll-up, which I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd actually have Sasha pin her until Mania. Because I honestly think, we know Sasha's probably going to win, but I honestly think Sasha will pin Charlotte, not Becky. So we'll just have to see how that goes. I thought they should have waited for Mania to have her actually pin Charlotte. But I think it would have been better for Sasha to lose tonight, but it was in Boston, so that's probably a bad idea. And then, after the confrontation earlier where Sasha ended up shoving Becky Lynch, Becky came in and attacked Sasha, hit her with the Bexplex, and people started booing Becky, of course. It's kind of hard to hear since they edited over it, but you can hear a lot of booing. And, I mean, it's whatever. Like I've said before, Becky gets overshadowed because of how much people like Sasha. Honestly, I like Becky Lynch more than Sasha, but just people cheer over Becky so much, it's ridiculous. And then Sasha ends up getting a big pop afterwards because she attacks Charlotte, hitting her with the backstabber. So, and that's how it ended, that part. And then we've got the New Day cutting a promo where they're talking about how WrestleMania is going to be the first ever WrestleMania sponsored by a cereal, Booty-O's. They make sure you ain't booty. But New Day came out, cut a pretty funny promo, talking about how the League of Nations suck and they're the Jar Jar Binks of the wrestling world. And just all this shit. And then they're cut off by Sheamus and the rest of the league. And it ends up being Sheamus one-on-one with Kofi Kingston. This was actually the best match of the night, in my opinion. Match was pretty dang good. The ending was a little weak. I mean, they ended up getting the distraction from Bad News Barrett, and then Kofi turned around right into a brogue kick. But before that, you had some pretty cool spots. Like Kofi did the freaking sick plancha over the top, which I haven't seen him do before, but it was cool. And of course, we knew Kofi would do it. It was just cool that we've seen it. And then we've seen a couple other cool spots to where there was the one. Shit, what was I thinking of? There was one other cool spot in the match. How'd the sequence go before that? I'm trying to think of what the other thing was. I know there's a bunch of dives to the outside and stuff. Kofi hit the boom drop, I know that. Oh, it was the SOS counter, but what did he counter it into? I forget. I don't know. Kofi is going for the SOS, and then Sheamus locked him in a full Nelson. I can't remember what he did after that, how he followed it up, but I thought it was pretty cool. But overall, I thought that was the best match of the night by far. Then after that, we got the Usos taking on the Ascension. Complete squash match. Didn't give a shit whatsoever. We had multiple squash matches tonight, which was terrible. Usos win with a double super kick. Now, the highlight of this was actually after the match. You see the Dudley Boys backstage, which that leads to an interview, which leads to our main event match of the night, which was awful. But, or wait, no, it wasn't the main event match, because we had Styles versus Breeze, another squash match. But, the Usos end up taking out 2 tables, laying them on the tables, and doing a stereo Uso splash through the tables, which is pretty sweet. I liked it. I thought it was one of the highlights of SmackDown tonight. I thought it was pretty sweet. But stereo Uso splash through the tables, and that's it. The Usos actually finally got a pop throughout the night because no one really cares about this match. And thank God we find out that's going to be the kickoff. But I still think it's going to be a tables match, so I still think it'll be good. Even if it is the kickoff, even if they're portraying it as the worst match on the card, that's why it's the kickoff. I obviously think it's going to turn into a tables match, so that should actually be pretty interesting. And then backstage we get the Dudleys talk about how they're going to try to steal the show at Mania with the Usos, and just talk about how they used to beat up Haku and the Wild Samoans and all this shit. And then guess who shows up? Boom, 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 boom. The fucking Roman Reigns comes back there, and you're like, yeah, well, you know, we're in Boston, and I think I'm going to have a fight with you. Believe that. And then we end up having a match between Roman Reigns and Bubba Ray, and this thing wasn't even a match. It lasted about 2 minutes. Then Roman Reigns just starts beating the shit out of him and ends up burying the Dudley boys. He just fucking beats them both down by himself. Superhero knuckle sandwich to freaking Devon when he tries to come down and save Bubba. And then Roman just spears Ray in the freaking ring. Great, you're having him bury the fucking best tag team on the planet now. Fucking great, Vince. Fuck you. That's not going to get anyone to cheer him for sure. People like the Dudleys, so you're a dumb fuck for doing that. And then we get Ziggler and Zayn versus The Miz and Owens. And this match was pretty weak. I didn't really even pay attention to it, to be honest. Sami Zayn ended up getting the hot tag after Ziggler got the shit knocked out of him. And then there was some frustration with The Miz and Kevin Owens. And then Kevin Owens tries to walk out on The Miz. Miz ends up stopping Kevin Owens thanks to Stardust, Zack Ryder, and Sin Cara. They come down there, they get in front of Kevin Owens to where he can't leave. And then Kevin Owens gets attacked by his own tag team partner, The Miz. And then The Miz hits him with the skull-crushing finale. And then The Miz gets caught with a super kick. And then Sami Zayn hits the haluva kick on The Miz. And then he ends up winning the match. And then after that, hell breaks loose. Stardust comes in. Who does he take out again? I think he takes out Ziggler. I think Ziggler is the last man standing in the ring. He takes out Ziggler with the Queen's Crossbow. Kind of botched it, but that's whatever. Or no, it was Zayn. Zayn was the last one standing because they took out Ziggler. Stardust attacked Ziggler before. And then Sin Cara comes into the ring. And he attacks Stardust, hits him with a moonsault. Then Zack Ryder comes in the ring, goes to throw Sin Cara out of the ring. Sin Cara reverses it, throws Zack Ryder over the ropes, and then Sin Cara gets attacked by Dolph Ziggler, I believe. I believe it was Ziggler, maybe it was Owens. I think Ziggler attacked him first with a super kick, and then Owens catches Ziggler with the pop-up powerbomb. And then Kevin Owens is celebrating in the ring. We think it's all over. We think it's all good. I thought it was all done. I was like, okay, whatever. Kevin Owens is celebrating in the ring. That's great, whatever. But then out of nowhere comes the Long Island IC. And he gets Kevin Owens to turn around right into a Rough Rider. And Zack Ryder is the final person standing tall in the middle of the ring. And he was pointing at the Mania sign. I can't remember if he had the IC title in his hand or not. Oh, another funny thing to add about that match, there was one point where Ziggler got knocked to the outside, and Kevin Owens' title was randomly laying down in front of him, and Kevin Owens just runs over, picks it up, and says, "No, this is my title." But no, Zack Ryder just randomly gets the upper hand here, which I heard a rumor from some person online, so it's not very reliable, but that Zack Ryder, someone that works with WWE Creative or something like that, told him that they're planning on doing big stuff with Zack Ryder, something like that. I don't know. I'm accepting it at this point, because if Zack Ryder wins the IC Championship, I will freak out. But then after that we get R-Truth Goldust segment. Kind of funny. Leads to R-Truth asking Goldust why he came out to help him. Goldust says that he had a pair of latex pajamas under the ring. R-Truth proceeds to say that he knows Goldust sleeps all natural. And Goldust just looks all confused. How the hell did you know that? And then R-Truth asks him, so what do you say, partners? And then Goldust spells out no on R-Truth's forehead with his gold paint. Then R-Truth turns around to look in the mirror and reads it backwards as on, like game on. So now R-Truth believes that Goldust is his tag team partner. That's great. Then after that we get a squash match between AJ Styles and Tyler Breeze. Not even going to talk about this. See, WWE has made it to where I don't even give a fuck about AJ Styles right now. So, good fucking job. You ruin every fucking talent that's not yours. Vince even ruins the NXT guys. He's made Tyler Breeze a fucking jobber. Neville's a no-name now. He just does mid-card shit and pointless six-man tags when he's the fucking champion. Freaking the Ascension, the longest NXT tag team champions of all time, are freaking jobbers now. And who the hell else is there? Big E was trying to make a fucking jobber. The only people that did good out of NXT so far, really, is the Shield. Because if you think about it, the Wyatt family's a bunch of jobbers now, too. All they are is fucking jobbers. That's all there's left. And don't even get me started on the freaking phenomenal forearm that's now became AJ Styles' finisher. That's fucking retarded. They just want it because it looks cool and he flies up in the air and the kids love it because they're like, oh, cool, he's flying. Fuck that shit. That freaking forearm is not his freaking finisher. If he doesn't do the Styles Clash anymore, I'm going to be fucking pissed. This is stupid. This is retarded. The phenomenal forearm. That's a great fucking name for it, you fucking pinhead. Who the hell came up with that? It's probably AJ Styles. But still, who the fuck would make their finisher a springboard forearm and then name it the phenomenal forearm? That's like the fucking PTO or the freaking Emma lock or the asshead lock. I believe I went on a rant about this before, but still, this is stupid. Whatever, I'm moving on after that. Who cares? AJ Styles buries Tyler Breeze and some more. Some Vince likes to bury the NXT talent because he's butthurt because they're actually over and his isn't. Then we get the end of the show, which is a Brock Lesnar segment. Paul Heyman comes out there, says that no matter what Dean Ambrose brings to the ring, the most dominant, the most utilized, the most efficient weapon possible in the WWE is Brock Lesnar. Then he calls out Dean Ambrose, gets cut off by the Wyatt fuckers for no reason. The Wyatts come down to the ring. They're about ready to attack Brock. Dean Ambrose's music hits. He comes running down to the ring with a kendo stick. Brock takes it to both Eric Rowan and Brown Snowman. And then Dean Ambrose starts beating Bray Wyatt with the kendo stick. A thing to take from this: Braun Strowman knocks down Brock Lesnar, but then Brock gets right back up and hits him with a German. He took Brown Snowman to Suplex City. So yes, fuck you, Brown Snowman. He gets taken to Suplex City, and then Dean Ambrose gets in the ring, starts beating down Brock with the kendo stick. We think it's all good, but then Brock counters it, starts beating down Dean Ambrose with the kendo stick, and then ends up F5ing him after snapping the kendo stick over his knee, just proving that Brock Lesnar is a badass, like we already know. So that's pretty much how the show ended. Like I said, the only things that I cared about was the Sasha Charlotte match, the Zack Ryder thing, and then of course the main event. The whole rest of the show was just boring and it was dumb. So other than that, that's my SmackDown review. Make sure to stay tuned for my Zack Ryder live reactions video on the second channel. Like I said, hopefully there's an annotation up on it if you're watching it now, or if you watched it like right after it's up. There probably isn't yet. You still have to work on that video. It's only about a minute long, but you can just go check it out. That's a minute count my intro and my brand new outro. So you can just go check that shit out, and other than that, that's it.